Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here with us. Today, we're going to unpack something truly fascinating. If you love to travel, or honestly, if you're just curious about how these massive, complex global systems operate behind the scenes, you are definitely in the right place. We're diving into a real masterclass on a topic that completely dictates how we experience the world, yet most of us never even notice it's happening. I'm talking about destination management.
So, I want you to take a quick second right now and just picture your absolute favorite vacation. Close your eyes if you have to. Maybe you're lounging on this pristine beach. Maybe you're exploring the cobblestone streets of some ancient city. Or perhaps you're eating incredible street food in a really bustling night market. You remember the sunset, the flavors, that feeling of total relaxation, right? But what you probably didn't see was the massive, invisible engine of work that made that perfect moment possible. I mean, who made sure that beach was clean? Who preserved that historic building? How did you even hear about that food market in the first place? Well, that invisible engine is exactly what we're decoding today.
Here is the roadmap for our explainer today. First, what is destination management? Second, the 5 pillars of success. Third, the key stakeholders involved. Fourth, Philippine sustainable tourism triumphs. And finally, the future of travel.
Let's jump right in. Section 1, what is destination management? The backstage crew of travel. Think of a world-class destination like a massive Broadway play. In this scenario, the tourists, we're the audience. Destination management, they're the backstage crew working in the dark to make sure the whole show goes off without a hitch. Formally, it's defined as the comprehensive planning, development, marketing, and oversight of a destination. But here is the absolutely crucial part. It is a delicate balancing act between visitor needs, local community benefits, and environmental preservation. Lean just a little too far in any one direction, and the whole system essentially collapses.
Moving on to Section 2, 5 pillars of success, building the blueprint.
So, you're probably wondering, how do you actually maintain that balance? Well, you need a highly structured blueprint. And the very foundation of that is Pillar 1, planning and development. Because before you invite the world over, you have to build the stage, right? This means setting strategic goals, analyzing the market, and importantly, investing heavily in infrastructure. We're talking about the roads, the airports, the hotels, the cultural facilities. Look, if a destination only has the capacity to handle 10,000 tourists a week, marketing to 50,000 is literally a recipe for disaster. You have to plan for sustainable growth. And skipping ahead just a bit, a completely non-negotiable part of this blueprint is Pillar 4, sustainability and stewardship. Now, this isn't just a corporate buzzword, it's a structural necessity for sustainable tourism. This pillar involves strict environmental stewardship, really proactive waste management, and prioritizing community-based ecotourism. Because think about it, if you destroy the very natural beauty or the cultural heritage that people are flying across the globe to see, you bankrupt your own destination. Sustainability is what ensures that the economic engine of tourism can keep running for generations without just completely depleting the local resources. So when we pull back and look at the whole picture, we see these 5 core functions working in tandem. You've got planning and development to build it, marketing and branding to give it a unique identity and show it to the world, sustainability to protect it, and visitor experience to ensure service quality and safety. But I really want to highlight the 5th one here, crisis management. Whether it's a natural disaster, a sudden pandemic, or a global economic downturn, a destination absolutely must have preparedness, response, and post-crisis recovery strategies ready to go. The most competitive destinations out there, they're the ones that are the most resilient. Okay, Section 3, the key stakeholders involved. The cast and crew. Now, a framework is just paper without the people to actually execute it. Managing a destination requires this massive, interconnected ecosystem. On one side, you've got government and agencies. So local authorities, national boards, health regulators setting all the rules. Then you have the tourism industry itself, the hotels, the tour operators, and the attractions providing the direct services. But you also absolutely rely on local businesses and communities. That's the restaurants, the local retailers, and the everyday residents whose lives are directly impacted. Finally, you have the investors, the NGOs, the media, and yes, even the tourists themselves. Every single one of these groups has a totally different priority, and destination management is basically the art of getting all of them to row in the exact same direction.
This brings us to Section 4, Philippine sustainable tourism triumphs, from blueprint to reality.
Theory is great and all, but to actually see sustainable tourism and destination marketing in action, just look at these stunning real-world photos of the breathtaking landscapes in the Philippines. Millions of global travelers are drawn here every year, but keeping these pristine waters crystal clear and ensuring those local island communities actually thrive, that doesn't happen by accident. Let's look at how the Philippines applies those 5 pillars we just talked about.
First up, let's head over to Siargao, which is famous worldwide for its surfing. This is just a brilliant example of community-based tourism and sustainability in action. Rather than just letting anyone open a surf school and totally crowd the waters, Siargao implemented strict surf certifications and really deep conservation programs. The local community is directly involved in managing the visitor experience, ensuring safety standards, and protecting the marine environment that makes those perfect waves possible in the first place.
Next, let's talk about destination marketing. Because how do you draw people to an area specifically for its culture? Enter the Tagaytay Food Tour. This is culinary tourism at its absolute finest, highlighting incredible regional dishes. Like, imagine a famous steaming bowl of bulalo set right against the backdrop of a volcano. By marketing these very specific, unique flavors, the destination managers are spreading the economic benefits of tourism directly to local farmers, market vendors, and independent restaurateurs. They're creating a unique brand identity that goes way beyond just a pretty visual landscape.
But destination management is also kind of like time travel, preserving the past for the future. In Manila, the revitalization of Intramuros is a perfect example of cultural tourism promotion. By actively investing in the restoration of these historic sites, the cobblestone streets, and the beautiful Spanish colonial architecture, management authorities have created a thriving cultural hub. It's a highly strategic infrastructure investment that honors the past while still drawing in modern tourists and, crucially, generating revenue for ongoing local preservation.
And then we have the visually striking Chocolate Hills down in Bohol. And yes, they really do look exactly like this in real life. It's wild. When you have a delicate natural wonder like this, unrestricted foot traffic will literally erode the attraction away over time. So here, destination management steps in to heavily regulate the visitor flow. By building designated viewing decks and restricting access to the hills themselves, they protect that fragile ecosystem while still allowing visitors to experience the magic. It's a prime example of that delicate balance in action. And honestly, the triumphs span across the entire country. Do you remember the 2018 Boracay rehabilitation? The government actually closed the world-famous island for 6 whole months for a massive cleanup, implementing much stricter regulations to improve water quality. That was a super bold crisis management move, but it saved the island's future. Then you have massive economic drivers like the annual Davao Fund Sale boosting local commerce. You've got huge infrastructure upgrades like the Mactan Cebu Airport expansion, improving connectivity, the incredibly sustainable management of Palawan's UNESCO sites like the Underground River, and Baguio totally leveraging its art scene to become a recognized UNESCO creative city. Every single one of these is a calculated, incredibly exciting management strategy.
Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, the future of travel. What's next?
So, we've seen the blueprint executed beautifully. But as we know, the world doesn't stand still. We are seeing a massive shift right now, from traditional travel paradigms to really future-focused trends. In the past, it was all about mass tourism, cramming as many people onto a single beach as humanly possible. Today, changing traveler behaviors are reshaping everything. We're seeing the massive rise of digital nomadism and remote work, meaning people are staying in destinations for months, not days. That completely changes infrastructure needs. We also have this huge digital transformation in the industry, utilizing AI, data analytics, and smart tourism solutions to track visitor flow and personalize experiences in real time. And perhaps most importantly, there is an aggressive, vital push toward eco-conscious practices because travelers themselves are now demanding responsible tourism.
So what does this all mean? What should you actually take away from this explainer today? Well, 3 main things. First, successful destination management requires a truly holistic approach. You absolutely cannot separate marketing from sustainability or infrastructure planning from community engagement. Second, stakeholder collaboration is mandatory. The government, the industry, and the locals must work together. And third, the ultimate goal of all of this is competitiveness and resilience. A well-managed destination doesn't just attract tourists for a quick buck today. It sustains its appeal and is ready for literally whatever crisis tomorrow might bring. Which brings us right back to you. The next time you step off a plane, check into a hotel, or even just grab a bite at a local market, remember that you are an active participant in this massive ecosystem. You are one of the stakeholders. So I'll leave you with this provocative thought. How will you travel more responsibly? How are you going to support the invisible crew working tirelessly backstage to keep our world beautiful? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.